Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to see everyone here.
Hi, Pratha. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm the moderator for today.
Hi, Shubham Sinha.
Yes.
Hi, Shubham. It is great to meet you.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I am very excited. So, how are you doing? How is everyone doing?
I'm also good. The topic is like really interesting. So we are looking forward to listen.
Good, good. So while everyone's joining, I'm just gonna do a quick tech check. Chalega? I'm just gonna start sharing my screen, making sure everything's
Yes,
okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Works?
sure.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. We have okay. And yeah, okay, great. So does anyone here know who this fabulous lady is?
Not really.
Okay. But one thing we can all see, right? So as tall as she is, there's a stack of books, like what's in the books. And the whole stack is almost taller than her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're looking at and admiring this lady, I would like to lay down some rules. So I only have 30 minutes. I will be taking questions at the end. So no interruptions, please, because again, only 30 minutes. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah,
All
sure
good?
it does.
Fantastic. Thank you. And before we get started, there's one more thing. Yeah. So last week, when we started off this session, the comeback protocol, a lot of people, like some 20 people, asked me to create a list of returnship programs for women. So I'm linking that as well. So this list, it's I think like maybe 20 plus, maybe 30 something. Uh, Returnship programs for women you can apply to. If you're feeling a little bit shy, then you're in the right place. We'll address that here. Okay, so are we good to start?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Okay, so this woman, this fabulous lady, this is Margaret Hamilton. Okay, and Margaret Hamilton, she could never have been ready for her job. Why? Because it didn't exist at the time. So in 1962, NASA hired Margaret Hamilton to work on the Apollo program. Everyone's heard of the Apollo program? They sent a man to the moon. So she had no formal training in software engineering because at the time, the field didn't even exist. It was all kinds of engineering, your hardware, other electrical engineering, all of that. It was taken as what we now, call software engineering. So she learned on the job. She wrote the code, all of that, the stack of books, that's her code. That's all the code that it took to send a man to the moon. So she learned on the job, wrote the code that put a man on the moon, and she created the field of software engineering. The term software engineering, that was created by Margaret Hamilton. So that's a cool fact for you. Now, this is session 2 of the Comeback Protocol. This is a series that I'm doing with Herky. So thank you for the opportunity to Herky. And this series is to help women level up. I am Pritha Pathak, and this is our second session, Getting Hired When You're Not Fully Qualified. Fact. Most requirements are wish list items, not hard rules, right? But why don't smart people like you, why don't they apply? Why don't you apply? Now, I've observed there are three major barriers. The first is the hard skill gap. I don't know some programming language. I don't know some tool. I am not familiar with some framework. The second is soft skill and experience gap. I don't have leadership experience. I have never done stakeholder management. I don't know how to negotiate. The third, and the most difficult to overcome, is a psychological barrier. I'm not ready. I'm just going to embarrass myself. This is the hardest barrier to overcome. The skill gaps, hard and soft, you can learn. Anyone can learn any skill given the time, resources, support system. But the psychological barrier is the hardest to overcome. I would like for you to take a moment and write in the chat what is your biggest barrier, whether it's a hard skill, soft skill, or psychological barrier. Put it in the chat, please. I'd love to see. Now, reality check. No one is ever 100% ready. It's not possible. The job description isn't a list of qualifications, it's a negotiation document. If Margaret Hamilton, you remember her? If she had waited until she was fully qualified, we might never have landed on the moon. Do you agree? Now, today we are focusing on this framework, the role framework. Reframe, optimize, leverage, and execute. This framework will help us overcome all of these barriers. Now let's start with R. Reframe the not qualified mindset. You need to stop thinking, I don't have X, I don't know X, I can't do X. You need to start thinking, I can learn X while bringing Y to the table. Can you do that? For example, if you don't have cloud computing experience and you're looking at all of these job boards and you're thinking, I don't have the experience, that is an immediate blocker. That is a defeatist mindset. What you do is you start thinking, fine, I don't have cloud computing experience, but I've worked on backend development. And what is cloud? But backend at scale. So you can bridge the gap. You need to understand that there are certain things called transferable skills. Even if you haven't done exactly X, you're close to it. If you haven't studied Java, if you don't know Java, for example, but you know any object-oriented programming language, you can do it. You can learn. You absolutely bring something valuable to the table. Now, at this point in the presentation, I would like you to think of 3 transferable skills from your past that you can apply to the jobs that you want in the future. You can absolutely do it. Next is O in our framework. Optimize for the 60% rule. Now, what is the 60% rule? If you fit 60% of the criteria in a job description, in the requirements, apply, absolutely apply. 60% is enough. You do not need to wait for 100%. How do we do this? We need to reverse engineer the job description. First, we talked about this in our previous session. You have to make a collection. You make a collection of the job descriptions that you want. Find 5 to 10 jobs that you think, yes, I can do this. I would like to do this. Whether they're aspirational for you or whether they're not that far out of your reach, whatever the scene is, make a collection of 5 to 10 job descriptions and copy them, put them into ChatGPT. Then ask ChatGPT, what are the top 3 most critical skills for this role? ChatGPT will analyze and give you a list, 3, 5. Then highlight those skills on your resume. You must find out what are the top 3 most critical skills. Do you have them? Highlight those skills on your resume. So if you match 60% of the resume, of the job description, highlight it on your resume and apply. If you remember in the last session, we talked about the 80-20 rule. If anyone had attended the previous session, we talked about the 80-20 rule. What that means is... I hear an echo. Can someone mute? Shubham, can you help me out here? Thank you. So, yes?
It's good. You can continue.
Thanks. So, as I was saying, if you had attended last week's session, you will be familiar with the 80-20 rule. What that means is 20% of the skills that you require in a field, just 20%. This will give you 80% of the success required in that field. Here, we're talking about 60%. If you match 60%, absolutely you can get the job. Don't let it stop you from applying. For example, we're back to talking about DevOps. So the job is, we're looking for a DevOps engineer with AWS and Kubernetes experience, with GCP experience, with Azure experience, whatever experience. And you're sitting here thinking, I haven't done this. Why? Why? Reframe your thinking. Optimize for 60% rule. What this means is, fine, you don't know Kubernetes, but you know Docker, you know CI/CD, you know Terraform, you know Jenkins. This is 90% transferable. We spoke about transferable skills in the previous R as well, reframe. So an action item that I really want you to focus on is find one job that you're interested in, just one job. I know it's so difficult job searching because the market is difficult, no one is responding, you're being ghosted, all of those things. But start with one thing, baby steps. Find one job that you're interested in, reverse engineer it, identify your strengths, find the transferable skills, and apply this mindset. First, apply the mindset, reframe, then optimize for 60%. And this is how we do it, yeah? We collect, we ask ChatGPT, and then we highlight on our resume. Next is leverage your network and visibility. Leverage, leverage, leverage. If the recruiters can't see you, they can't hire you, right? Does that make sense? If they don't know you exist, how will they hire you? If you never apply, how will they hire you? So how do you build a network? How do you build visibility? How do you create this? These are also skills. Networking and learning how to be visible. These are soft skills that are extremely important, especially in today's climate, because the market is saturated. You must learn to distinguish yourself. So how do you do it? These are some simple things that you can absolutely do. It does not take too much of effort. It does not take too much of knowledge even. Comment on industry posts. Make hiring managers notice you. Now, you have seen a lot of people on LinkedIn, for example. Someone has a career milestone. Most people, what do they say? Congrats, good job, wow, awesome. Does that add value? No, I will ignore them. I do. If I see in my feed someone is saying congrats, I ignore. I don't remember it anymore. But if on a post, let's say on GenAI, someone has an opinion, or someone is posting an article, someone is posting a statistic, and it's a field that I have some information on. It's a field that I feel comfortable in, right? I know something about AI. I know something about Gen AI. So first, what I will do, I will properly understand what the poster is saying. Then I will either comment my views, or I will make a summary of my key takeaways from that post, or whatever it is. I will add value. You can't just say great post, khalas. No, add value. Great post. I really loved XYZ that you said, and that really helped me do XYZ. Or thanks for posting. I really look forward to your content because I love learning about Gen AI. So that says something about you. It shows enthusiasm, and you are now part of that circle. For example, in the AI example, the more I post about Gen AI, or the more I comment on other people who are already posting about Gen AI, I'm now visible. When people read the comments, I am there, and I am adding value, right? So this is important. Add value. Don't just say, great job, wow, thumbs up. No. Comment on industry posts. Make hiring managers notice you. Very important. Then reconnect with past colleagues. 80% of jobs come from referrals. This is true. Okay, this is absolutely true. My last 2 jobs, I did get through a referral. You can't, however, just ask people for referral. Hi, how are you doing? Long time no see. Give me a referral. No, it doesn't work like that. Your network needs to be in place before you need it, right? It's like insurance, car insurance, right? Let's say you get into a crash today, like touch wood, it doesn't happen, but let's say you get into a crash today, and then you buy insurance. Do you think they will cover it? No, absolutely not. The insurance must be paid for before anything happens. Same way, you have to build your network continuously. No matter where you are in your job search, where you are in your career, no matter what, you must have a network and you must continuously build it and you must continuously feed and nurture it. Reconnect with your old colleagues, reconnect with your old manager, reconnect with anyone you've worked with. Let's say you're taking an Uber share, right? You're in a cab with somebody, you're sharing the cab and you're talking to somebody, right? You're talking to them. Get their LinkedIn details, talk about what their work is, get to know their interests, and then network with them. It's very important to reconnect with past colleagues and to make new connections. Then post your progress. Fine, Pratha, I'm not doing anything. I don't have a job, or I am just finishing college. I don't have anything I can talk about, or I'm so busy in my current role, I can't post about my progress. What progress? Or sometimes, some people, me for example, we can't talk about our work because of NDAs, right? It's very confidential. So what do I say? Simple. Just say, hey, I am currently, in this week, I learned about X technology, or I would like to learn about X technology, or hey, I spoke to a colleague today and they were talking about blah, blah. And after that conversation, I went and I read about something else. Start that conversation. Talk about what you're doing. Talk about your interest. I like Gen AI. I don't know enough about Gen AI. What do? I comment on other people's posts, or I find an article and I share the article with my insights. What can you do? If you are reading any articles, and I'm sure you're studying, by the way, I am confident that if you are part of this course, if you're part of this session, you are already studying. And I believe in you. But it's not enough to just study. Talk about what you're studying. Talk about what you learned today. Sometimes a lot of people say, create your own mini projects. I say that. Create your own mini projects and link it. Talk about it, whatever you're doing, even if you're just following a YouTube tutorial. Say, link, I mean, tag that person. Ki, hey, X person has this has this YouTube tutorial. I am following this. It's great. I recommend it to everyone. That's enough. Talk about something. Talk. Notice. I mean, get noticed. If recruiters don't notice you, don't see you, they cannot hire you. Make your presence felt. The last of the role framework, execute with confidence. Now, the brag file. Do you know what the brag file is? You have to brag about yourself, right? Figure out over the past X years whether you are a professional currently working, whether you're someone who has been on a break, whether you're someone who is just graduating from college, whatever the scene is, figure out what you are most proud of, your most proud accomplishments, which are relevant to the job you're applying for. They may not be 100% relevant. Remember the transferable skills trick? But as close as possible. So before you apply, list 3 examples. 3. If you don't have direct experience, like I said, use transferable wins. For example, I don't have leadership experience, but I ran a project that cut downtime by 40%. Wow, right? Wow. That shows initiative. That shows problem solving. That shows critical thinking. And this is direct business value. So whatever your brag file is, make sure you can associate some business value with it. Apply, even if you're not 100% ready. No one is. If you leave here with one takeaway, let it be this. Apply, even when you're not 100% ready. The truth is that no one is. People who get ahead, they apply before they feel ready. So does anyone here know how to swim? A lot of people. I mean, I'm hoping everyone knows how to swim. What my dad did while teaching me how to swim, he threw me in the swimming pool. He threw me. And I learned. I learned to paddle. I learned to kick. Then he gave me lessons. The thing is, you have to jump in before you're ready. So your challenge for today's challenge for you, find one job. Apply the role framework. If you match 60%, apply. Would you like to go more in depth? Join my next session. This is on must know tech skills for 2025, and it's happening on 19th March. I would love to see you. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. Apply the framework, get over the psychological barriers. Find a support system, not just networking, but an actual support system. This can be your family, your friends, Herky community, LinkedIn community, whatever it is. Find someone or a group that can hold you accountable and do this. Follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is the end of our session. I am now going to be taking any questions.
Pratap, we have some questions in the chat box.
Fantastic. Where is the chat bot? There it is. Okay, Supriya, hard skill, right. Questions are, this platform is for engineering faculty. I don't understand. Okay, so Vinila, I will take your question. I have a career gap of 10 years and I don't have any knowledge and exposure to new technologies, or I can say zero knowledge about technologies. Which is the best course to choose and restart my career? This is a fantastic question, and I'm sure a lot of people, even a lot of people in this room right now, are facing these questions. Anjali, give me 1 second, I'll get to you. Thank you for showing your interest. So what you do is, this is something we extensively talked about in the last session. Figure out what your goals are. Figure it out. Take a moment to write down what your goals really are. You need to have clarity on your vision. Once you figure out, okay, I want this job role, right? Once you figure out, I want this job role, you find, let's say, 5 to 10 examples of job descriptions for that particular job. You take this, you feed it into ChatGPT, or you can do it yourself. I say ChatGPT because it will save time. So feed it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what are the 5 most critical key skills I need to get this job? You learn that. Then you will get a list, 5, 3, whatever. Now you have a vision. Okay, in order to be here, I have to do this, right? Then once you have these skills ready, you can now look for courses. You can now look for targeted courses. If you want more help on this, you can reach out to me. We are also going to do another session on this specifically. So you need to have targeted focus, and you need to pick only a very finite set of things to study, because there are so many skills, so many new technologies. Every month there is a new hot technology. Wow, AI, wow, cloud, wow, DevOps, MLOps, whatever it is. There's always something new. So be targeted. Anjali, can you I'd like to hear your question.
Thank you.
What's your question, Anjali? Okay, anyone else have any questions? I can see Vandana is also raising her hand. Vandana, do you have any questions? If not, I'll go through the list of questions. Now Supriya has a question. What if, in case the job we're looking for must need professional courses completed? Very good question. Very good question. You will see a lot of job descriptions saying we need PMP course, we need Scrum certified Scrum Master, we need AWS Solution Architect. What do? Figure out, do you have the experience to bridge the gap? Figure out, do you have the time, money, other resources to do the certifications right now? Figure out, where are you right now? If you are able to invest the time, money, other resources to study for the certifications and be confident that you will pass it, then do it. But what I would do is, if I have enough experience, for example, I've worked for 6 years on AWS, that is comparable to a certification. So what I will do, I will apply anyway. If you feel 60% rule, remember? If you feel like your experience can be substituted for whatever certification they're asking for, apply. What is the worst that can happen? They will reject you. So they're rejecting you anyway, right? We need to position ourselves so that we have, the more rejections you have, it means the more you're applying. And the more you're applying, the greater your chances of getting an interview, getting a job. So apply. If you feel like your experience can be translated into the expertise for that certification, apply anyway. Now, next question. You have a little knowledge of ChatGPT. Is that Sunita? Hi, Serene Sunita. Everyone does at this point. We will cover this in next session, 19th May. Any questions from the people who are raising their hands? Deepa, go on, please.
Hi, Preeta. Good morning. First of all, I was very much, uh, inspired by whatever you said. The role model, role framework. It was really helpful for me to, overcome and understand, structure myself as to where do I stand and all stuff. So kudos to you, for that. I have a question here. I'm in a situation right now where I have all the expertise. I have extensive experience. I've also led the team. I've been in a leadership role. Okay. And at this point in time in my career, I have faced a challenge where, I do not really possess the minimum academic or qualification requirements which is required for that particular job or whatever jobs that I aim for. I have certification courses. I know the technology. I have the expertise. I was into a leadership role. However, due to some, circumstances, I couldn't complete my educational qualification, and that's become a biggest barrier, at this point in time. Because wherever I apply, they would ask for a minimal, qualification as a graduation, and I'm an undergrad. So I do not really have a minimum, qualification. However, even at this point in time, I'm 38, and I want to, even if I want to pursue, having all the, financial complexities, I'm the only person who basically earns, uh, yeah, earns in my entire family. So we are a family of three, and the problem is, I'm in a situation where I'm not able to find any opportunities. Even if I find right opportunities, I'm being rejected because I do not have a qualification, and for me to pursue anything would definitely take some time,
Time, right?
right? So at this point in time, how do I proceed, or what can I do? Because there are certain, job roles that I've been applying, and I'm being very transparent to the, recruiters, and telling that this is what the situation. But given a chance, definitely I will pursue and try to, give. But what I am lagging is the opportunity. So what is that you tell me, to overcome this situation, or what can I do in order to, like, land on a job?
Okay.
So it's been almost 2 months that I've been unemployed, and it's kind of very,
Mentally.
difficult. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Deepa. Your story of not completing your, can you tell me more about the program that you did not complete?
So basically, I had a financial constraint, so I couldn't complete my 12th. Okay.
Okay.
And then I had to, and then I had to work, to earn money. This was back in 2013, so I was enrolled for a educational program with one of the university for a degree program. Okay.
Mm.
So when I enrolled, back then, they did not really ask for 12th. So I had my 10 plus 1, and I had enrolled for a, degree program on the basis of 10th plus 1. Okay. And for some reason, I did not really follow it up with, convocation, and did not really get the degree certificate. Now, after so many years, like back in 2013, I did my graduation, the BCom certification I did. However, I do not have a degree certificate. But I have a mark sheets, the examinations, what I went through. I have a mark sheets issued by the university, but the university denied, saying that, you did not really have a plus two. It's a sheer mistake from the university that they did, enroll for a, admission. but this was like very long ago. And
Exactly.
now this was very long ago, and now with the same mark sheet wherever I go, you know, I've been asked that why you did not complete it. So it was a mistake from my end also, like I did not really follow it up with the university. The only challenge, is wherever I go, obviously, the background verification is something which is very, critical these days. And the university is not in a position to verify or acknowledge, saying that yeah, we did the admission, it was our mistake. And
You have the documents to prove it. Do you have a paper trail to prove that you got
that's
the loan? Do you have an
that's
ID card?
I do not really have an ID card, but like I said, I have a mark sheet issued by the university. I do not really have any, because back in 2013 it was not digitized, and there were not online thing
How
was
many mark
happening.
sheets do you have?
Sorry.
How many mark sheets? So the university, for whatever course you're doing, for
Mm-hmm.
each semester or trimester or whatever it is, there must be one mark sheet per semester. How many do you have? Do you have the complete set?
Yes, I have a mark sheet. So it is non-semester is what I had enrolled back then. It was 2010 I enrolled, and it was for a 3 years course. However, I've been issued a mark sheet for non-semester. So I have two mark sheets. One is a compilation of first and second degree, second year, and for third year I have another mark sheet issued by the university.
Okay. For you, Deepa,
Mm-hmm.
what I can say is it's not related to our current role framework.
Mm-hmm.
Your issue is a bureaucracy issue, an admin problem.
That's
You
right.
have to talk to your university admin and your high school admin or that kind of admin. We can connect after this.
Okay.
But your issue has nothing to do with this because you are very qualified, you are very experienced. You need to figure out the paperwork. That's all. We'll
Yes.
figure it out together. So
Okay.
reach out to me on LinkedIn or Herky. Reach out to me. We'll figure it out. Thank you for
Sure.
sharing.
Sure.
This is a common issue, I'm sure. Anyone else want to ask any
Sure,
question?
Preeta. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you for attending. Ratna, your question. If Ratna would not like to ask a question, Anuradha or Kartika, would you like to ask?
Hi, Preeta. This is Kartika here. Good
Hi,
morning.
good
It
morning.
was really a nice session. Got motivated, but still, I have some, back in my mind that will I be qualified for the next thing? So, this is my question. I have experience in leadership role for almost 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I took a break. I wanted to take a break to take care of my kid. And I thought I was from a service based company in operations, so now I want to switch to a technical firm, and I have done my certification in cybersecurity
Mm-hmm.
program. So my challenge is now when I start applying for the jobs in cybersecurity, there is where I want to go.
Hmm.
But with whatever I prepare for the interview, they will be looking for the experience in the same firm, whether I have or not. So how should I, overcome this challenge and crack the interviews?
Thank you for your question, Kartika. And your situation is a career transition,
Yeah,
right? So
that's
you
right.
work in operations, now you want to go into cybersecurity. Good job on doing the certifications. That
Yeah,
shows initiative. And the fact that you're doing this shows a growth mindset. And I would like to appreciate you for that.
thank
So
you.
that said, um, we need to obviously address the major issue. Hey, Kartika, you don't have the experience, right?
Yes,
You
that's
don't have
right.
the experience. Fine. What do? You build the experience by, and you don't necessarily need to build job experience. You can enroll in Red Hat, White Hat, whatever, X Hat, hacking schools, boot camps. Figure out a path, right? I can help out with that as well. But there are lots of free resources where you can figure out a cybersecurity job roadmap. It will tell you exactly where to start. If you are at zero, where to start to get to the job. Now, that said, you can study everything. You can be the best in studies. So what? You have to now convince the recruiter, ki, hey, I am over 35, I'm assuming. Please don't
Yeah.
feel bad. I'm assuming. I'm just saying
Yeah.
as an example. Let's say I'm over 35 and I have had a totally different career. I'm starting out cybersecurity. Why should the recruiter hire you? You need to show your attitude, attitude, attitude. Hey, I've done this. I have a lot of experience in operations, in XYZ, blah, blah. Every job is interrelated. You think there is nothing related to operations in cybersecurity? Of course there is. Figure it out. Figure
Okay.
out the connections, right? Talk to ChatGPT if you don't have any human to talk to, or go to groups. Talk to anyone else who is in the audience or anyone on Herky, anyone who is an ex-colleague or someone who is working in cybersec and be like, hey, listen, this is what I did before. This is what I want to do now. Can you help me understand if there is any commonality? Talk
Okay.
to, be visible. Or even better than asking, do your own research, make the post on LinkedIn. Hey, I have 13 years of experience in operations, and now I'm seeking to transition to a role in cybersecurity. These are the similarities. You make that post because, Kartika, there's someone else just like you who is waiting to help
Yeah.
them, someone to help them bridge the gap.
Oh,
You figure out what the gap is.
sure,
Then,
sure, Preeta.
but most of all, and because you're already studying, like I said, I am certain excuse me, everyone in this room right now is studying and upskilling. I am certain, and I believe in all of you. But beyond that is visibility, expressing your skills, talking to people, and convincing them, persuading them. That's the last two of the role framework. Leveraging your networks. So use your networks to figure out who is already doing this. How can they help? Talk to people you already have a connection with, your ex-colleagues, for example. Talk to someone who knows someone. Get introduced. Join groups. There are many groups on LinkedIn, which are the cybersecurity professionals. Join the group. Figure out what everyone's talking about. At the same time, study, and at the same time, network. Write on posts. Repost about security. Make your LinkedIn a feed of cybersecurity, and make sure that to every feed, every post or comment or repost you do, you add your valuable insight. So people can see, yes, Kartika has an opinion on this. She knows what she's talking about. She may have worked in operations before, but now clearly she has done her research. Make it evident. Does that help you?
Yes, sure, Preeta. I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Good
that
luck.
answer.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it will work out for you.
Prita,
Thank
I
you.
have
Yeah.
a question.
Yes, go on. Who is speaking?
Ratna.
Hi, Ratna.
Yeah, Prita. Hi, Prita. Prita, I have a just now you said that whatever the skill set, if you have, just check out in the chat GPT, key skills, find out and put into your resume. One, I have a doubt that because I have a career gap of 8 years, I work for the HSBC. There, my profile was account service,
Mm.
but now my profile is shortlisted for the anti-money laundering and transaction monitoring like that. When I go for the interview, they are saying that no, we need a candidate exactly work on the anti-money laundering. I have not worked on the anti-money laundering, but little bit we do the same checks not 100% checks we won't do, but like a 5%, 3% we do. But when I'm explaining to the recruiter, they are not happy with that. They need entire people, those who have 100% experience on that. So then you said that just now pick up that and put into your resume. But when we go for, if is it workout? Because when we have not work on the same things and put into the resume and convincing the recruiter.
Thank you for your question. And I would like to point out, Ratna, that there is a fundamental misinterpretation of what I said. I did not say use ChatGPT, get the skills, put it on your resume. No, I said get the list of key skills for those jobs which are already on your resume and highlight them. Not in, no, don't make up skills. Like if you haven't done it, don't make it up. Find out what are the top skills in the job description. Do they exist on your resume? If yes, give more weightage to them. That's all I'm saying. Don't make up things. Don't make up experience, please. Now, next thing. What you were saying, there you do checks for anti-money laundering and the previous thing that you have done. Convince them. Okay? Before you convince anyone of anything, what do you need to do, Ratna? Research. Research the hell out of it. Research both of them. Research it so thoroughly that you know the differences and the similarities. Once you are able to explain that you have enough knowledge about this, you can easily scale up and bridge the gap, any gap that exists, then they will be convinced. Your problem now is convincing. The first person to convince is yourself,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm asking, Sita. See, there we have in transaction monitoring, they check the each and every transaction of the customer, whether they are have any money laundering was happened or any suspicious accounts are there like that. We won't check this. We'll check only the basic details like how many accounts does customers have. Really, it is a genuine customer. These things.
Mhm.
But in depth, how many in accounts, how many where their funds coming from them, which account coming, and whether this is a really the companies exist or it is a just simply to transact black money into the white money. That's a we won't check these all things. But they need experience like this. But I don't have this many checks of the experience. That's
What
why
you
how.
say is, what you say, instead of saying ki, I have not done fraud or white money, black money checks. What you say is, I understand that in your application you need to do XYZ checks. I am
Okay.
familiar with doing some checks,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that you guys are doing even more checks and I am eager to learn.
Okay.
Before you talk, you need to learn the comprehensive list of checks that they do versus what you did before. Don't say, "Ki, I don't know." No,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
let them figure it out. You say, we have done this. I am also aware that for your anti-money laundering application or product or whatever, you do XYZ extra checks. So that you
Mm-hmm.
show you've done this, but you know, right? You have to say that. Never say, I don't know. Say, I have done this and I'm aware of blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me if there are any more gaps that you see? More than that, Ratna, there are many certification courses. So I work in payments, for example, bank payments, bank-to-bank payments. So there are many things to learn. And the granularity, so someone who's working in payments in, for example, equity may not have the same information or knowledge as payments. And even within payments, bank-to-bank payments, customer-to-bank payments, whatever the scene is, it is different. It is very different.
Yeah.
But you need to say you know, because you do know. You explained to me, so you already know. I know you know. You gave me a list of things that you don't know. That means you know, right? So give more time to yourself, give more
No,
grace to
the customer due diligence, economic due diligence, the EDD, CDD, these all things I know. But
yourself.
they said no, we need 100% experience. Those who have worked, there I'm not able to convince and rejecting over there.
Convince.
Recently, I went for the Wells Fargo also.
Hmm.
They'll also send the same. No, we need experience. Those who are working on the transaction monitoring.
So what you do is figure out how to convince. You can do mock interviews. I think there are resources for this. There are definitely resources for this. We'll figure that out. But more importantly, for you, Ratna, what I think is psychological barrier, the hard skill gap. That the hard skill gap you can bridge by taking certification. You can check on LinkedIn. So for every for this anti-money laundering, there are small courses on Udemy, on Coursera, on Pluralsight, on LinkedIn. Do the courses. Seki, I
Okay.
don't have maybe real world experience where I'm lacking. I have done the courses, so I have the
But
theory.
I have
You
that,
can jump
I
in.
have that confident. Once I enter into the workforce, I can do those all things because
Yes,
I used to give the seminars and everything on the money laundering, where exactly the accounts coming from, how the funds are divided. These everything I know. But how can I explain the recruiter there? That is the problem for me because they are saying that no, you don't have experience in the transaction monitoring. That's true. I don't have, but I know how this works.
yes. Convincing. We have a session coming up, I think, in April, because I do weekly sessions. So if you're interested, you absolutely have to attend. This is on persuading people. You have the skills, you have the leadership experience, you have whatever is needed. How do you express it? So we'll talk about that. I'm sure by then you already will have a job. Touch wood. But in the meantime, to build your own confidence and to build other people's confidence in you, take these small courses, link it to
Because
your
I have
LinkedIn,
already
and
I lost Wells
you're
Fargo
okay.
and everything. I have
Mhm.
only the one chance in Bank of America now.
Mm.
Because still 3 months I have not gone for the interview, right?
Huh, huh, huh.
So Wells
3 months,
Fargo is also
sometimes
the,
it's 6 months also. You need to figure that out. Okay. But has this conversation helped you?
yeah, yeah,
Yes? Okay. If we
yeah.
would like to discuss even more about this, feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is here. Guys, please follow me on LinkedIn. So we'll
Sure.
talk, we'll continue this conversation, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. I will take one more question.
Pritika, actually, I have like another session to moderate at 10:30, so I'll
Okay.
just drop off this call. If you want to
Okay.
continue, you can just continue answering the questions. And when you have like another session scheduled,
I have the next session on 19th of March.
oh,
Same time.
okay. So I'd request everyone to join that session as well because you guys have a lot of questions, and we would love to answer all of them. So yeah, and it was really lovely listening from you, Pratha. I'm so sorry that
Thank
I have to drop off this call.
No, good luck for your next session.
Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. Thank you so
Have
much
a
for
great weekend.
joining.
Thanks, everyone. So I'm taking one more question and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I?
Sure.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Prita. And your session was really insightful. And I have posted my question as well. So I have around 2 years career gap,
Mhm.
due to which I was working on test automation, QA, and stuff.
Mm.
So during this, I mean, there was some reorg and I got impacted. So that was the reason. So now, when I'm trying to re-enter the workforce, meanwhile, I have also upskilled myself into product management. I did a course, 3 months course from ISB and DevOps,
On what? On
Kubernetes,
what?
ISB, Indian
Uh-huh.
School of Business, product management.
Why?
Because that's something I wanted to do for some time, and because I had some free time, so it was self-sponsored, and I spent few
Clarity,
lakhs.
Anuradha. You have to build targeted skills. It's nice to know. I am somebody who loves learning also. I love learning. Is this straight? Yes. So I love learning. But if right now your target is, I need a job, you
Hmm.
can't be learning XYZ things. No. Figure out what you want to do. Then figure out what do you need to do this. Then figure out what you already have. Now you will know what the gap is. For you, the gap is Kubernetes, right?
Yeah, if I had to go to like, if I had to do light transition, like from the QA and the test automation, or I'm fine even with that. But there also, I was more into Python, and now people are asking Playwright and Selenium. There are more openings for that.
Hmm.
Selenium with Python. So I'm trying to upskill myself, and I've done some courses on Kubernetes. But whenever I apply, I either don't get shortlisted, or I'm asked, okay, how much experience do I have, which I don't have on live, in real life situations. Even when I contacted the DEY and Women in Tech groups from my earlier companies, they also wanted expertise in those areas. So how do I bridge this gap?
Expertise in Kubernetes specifically,
Yeah, for
or
example, yeah,
Selenium and
that role, yeah.
okay. Okay. There are a lot of free courses on Kubernetes. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I have already done
You've done.
three
Okay.
courses. I posted it on LinkedIn also, like
Ha,
quite some
great.
time back. But that did not get enough traction, or not able to convince the recruiters that I have
Okay.
Kubernetes
I'm the
experience.
recruiter. I'm the recruiter, and I'm asking you, can you tell me about your experience with Kubernetes? What is your answer?
I have working knowledge on Kubernetes. I know the services deployment and the architecture of Kubernetes.
That's all? I'm not convinced, Anuradha. What you say is I have working knowledge in Kubernetes. I have recently upskilled. You have to say recently upskilled. During
Hmm.
that project, whatever program, I have done a project on whatever it is. Do a project. Don't just lie. Okay. I keep saying, don't make things up. Actually do the work. Right?
Hmm.
Make your own project. Figure out, you have some sort of Kubernetes, blah blah. Make the pods, make, orchestrate this, orchestrate that. I'm not a DevOps guy. This is my general overview. So whatever it is, do it, record it, take screenshots, talk about your learnings, especially your failures. Be like, wow, while I was learning, I misconfigured this. How to fix it? Because you are not the first person who is learning this for the first time, right? So someone else, let's say you started learning yesterday. I started learning today. What you faced yesterday, I am going to face today. So write about, Ari, I misconfigured XYZ. How I fixed it. Talk about that. Put it on LinkedIn. Put it on Medium. Put it wherever the hell you want. But put it out somewhere. Okay? And build and have like a timeline for yourself. 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. Within those 2 weeks, fully immerse yourself, your whole feed, any content that you generate or anyone you're talking to, anywhere, be visible, talk about it. If someone else is talking about Kubernetes, you're talking about Kubernetes. Someone else is posting, you're reposting. But don't just repost blindly, write your own thoughts on it. This will force you to, one, network, two, be visible, and three, whatever they're saying, that also obviously you have to read first, right? So you're getting more knowledge that way. At the same time, whatever project you're building, and absolutely you must build a project, a small project hosted locally. Do it, so that now when someone asks you, hey Anuradha, tell me about your experience, be like, so let me tell you about the project I did recently. They don't need to know if it's a mini project, if it's a personal project. They don't need to know. When they ask you, Ki, was this for a company, or like what job was this for, then you can clarify. But until someone asks, it's your project. Everyone here, I'll tell you this, if you're struggling with experience, you have not done something on the job, but you have upskilled separately and you have done your own personal projects, I am telling you, during the interview, don't say it was a personal project. Say, I worked on blah blah. If they ask you, is this a personal project or is this for another, for a job or a company or whatever, then you clarify. Don't hide it. But until they ask you, you have done it. Does that make sense? Absolutely do it though. What I'm saying, do it. Do the project, do the mini project. That will give you confidence. Nothing will give you confidence more than actually doing the job, right? Does this help you, Anuradha?
Yeah, I guess I have to reframe myself and
You have
then
to frame. Oh, whoops.
thank you.
I have a hard limit now.
Yeah.
Thank you for attending. Everyone, Anuradha, thank you for your question. Kartika, Ratna, thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget, my next session is on 19th March. This is on the top must-know technology of 2025, how to be relevant. Okay, thank you for this. This was great. You guys are fantastic. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me. And one more thing, like I have just provided, this is returnship. I'm just posting in the chats. This is a list of resources of returnship programs for women. So if you want to come back to work and you're not figuring out how to do it, these programs will help you make the transition smoothly. Good luck, and you can do this. Bye, guys.